All right, and welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Monday, June 3rd, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, let's get into it. Today, so markets here, a decent kind of choppy day. So the spiders finished up about 43 cents. Q's up at 242. The Dow fractionally lower, just down 1/3%, and the Russell bringing up the rear down 0.5%. Although it was outperforming earlier this morning, and then it came back in as we got close to the end of the day. Of course, GameStop continuing here. You can see it went right to that 618. I was waiting all day long for it to get to this 618. We were sitting in the trading room, and it got there within the last 5-10 minutes. I did not participate in it. I'm not going to take it that close to the end of the day, but it did get there. We'll just get rid of this for now. But again, a lot of this is just so nuts here. What's going on now? I guess, is it Fidelity or E-Trade, whichever one he uses, Keith Gill uses, is now threatening to cut him from, remove him from their platform, I guess. I mean, this whole thing is just absolutely insane here. And where did he get that 180 million too? I mean, now there's speculation that, I don't know, it's not even his account. There's just wild stuff going on. But either way, GME Madness back. Meme Madness is back here. And again, high of the day was right on the open. And it's, they keep talking about all these shorts are getting destroyed, but I don't know if they are. I mean, if you're covering at the right time, you're making good money on the sell side here too. And on the long side, you really have to be in kind of beforehand. Otherwise, you're kind of chasing, and then you're buying the highs here, and intraday it's coming right back in. Either way, stuff's going crazy here. And you can see AMC as well, and FFIE also had a 7% day, but again, the high was put in on the first candle. But nonetheless, market's going wild here. I don't know if we're going to take out those highs on GameStop. I assume that, at some point this is going to come back down. It's just a matter of, do they squeeze this up? Now, he only has less than 2 weeks to close those calls. They're at $20. So if this thing falls down, those deltas are going to get crushed. So, and from what I understand, he hasn't closed them out yet. So, interesting stuff. Anyway, let's go over to the general markets again, though. Spiders, or SPX rather, getting another pump towards the end of the day. And again, no problems here with the market. We back tested, everybody. All I heard all weekend was people complaining about the end of month markup. It's a fake move, it's manipulation. Well, you know what? Then tell me how I predicted this with members to look for a pivot between May 30th and June 3rd. A viable bull pivot, and we just got one there. You can call it fake, you can call it manipulation all you want, but price action don't care about your narratives. Cycles don't care about your narratives, and you're going to see the technicals also don't care either, because we went right back to that. We bounced off of it, and we had a strong close. So you can cut it however you want, but that's the fact of the matter of it. Doesn't make the gains any less real. So markets here having a good closing to the end of the day, back testing. I like this level here on the ES too. Nice kind of flag set up there, back checking to the low, and again, that was right where we broke out yesterday, or say on Friday, and big bid here into the end of the day as shorts continuing to cover. Again, beginning of month flows as well. I talked about that last week, and you can see that happening right there. Again, tomorrow, so let's get into this here. So tomorrow we have JOLTS data. Wednesday we're going to have ADP, and then on Friday we'll have non-farm payroll. I'm bringing up the bond market first here because take a look. So bonds down, 2-year yield 6, 5 years down 10, 10 down 10, and 30 down 10. If you watched the video I did on trend lines last week, go and watch it. What did I explain? How can you know when a trend line is getting ready to break? One of the things you can look for is there a higher high or a lower high after the last hit, right? Here, high, hit number 2, higher high, hit 3, hit 4, or I should say higher high there, hit 4, then hit 5, right? Lower high, right? So you can say, oh, we came back here, but we didn't hit the trend line though. So even though you had a lower high there, we still never quite got back to that trend line. Up here, boom, and the lower high. So it's one thing you can look for. Why am I talking about this? Because we have jobs data tomorrow, and what the bond market is possibly saying here, as well as the oil market is saying, that data might come in cooler than expected. Stocks are always going to be late to react, usually anyway. So, even though stocks dipped today, bonds never dipped once. So look at, the intraday here, futures. Big pump on ISM, which came in cooler than expected. We tried to pump on ISM with equities, but look, we're just so extended. I mean, look at the intraday, 40 points extended from the 20 moving average on just on the 10-minute, right? You can use a 15-minute if you like. It's even more so, right? So 40 some points. So they just had to do some backing and filling here. But I told you last week too, if the stock market sniffs out a weak jobs market, we're going to take off. I think bond market may be sniffing that out already. So we'll see what we get with jolts tomorrow at 10 a.m. It'll be a big number. Either way, I think we don't have to break out tomorrow. We can consolidate a little bit more and continue to put in a base. But right now, you have a massive power candle on Friday with volume on the SPY and the futures for that matter. And right now we've got a nice bull flag that we're trying to break out of. So no problems with the market. And I know the excuse machine was going to run. Oh, it's manipulation. Oh, end of month flows. Oh, breadth is this. Oh, 0DT that. You can call it whatever you want, but it's not going to make your losses any real or any less real. Anyways, QQQ up 54 bips. So again, back above trend here. I like the two tail candles. That means buyers are still stepping in. And we retested. We spiked all the way down and below that previous all-time high. Didn't quite get to 442.50. Would have liked that. Didn't quite get there. But again, today back testing the previous all-time high after closing above it on Friday. So still healthy price action. No problems here. IWM did finish red, but it went into a big level here. If we look at the RTY, I think you can see it a little bit more clearly. Look at the hourly there, just a lot, right? So this was a bull flag on the hourly that failed. We went right up into it and then backed off. What I do like about the Russell is it's got these higher lows here on the weekly. And, the trend is up. You got nice separation between these moving averages, and you're above all of them. So the daily can get noisy, but as long as that weekly stays firm, I think the Russell's fine. The Dow finished down, but again, like everything else, it came nicely off the lows by the end of the day. And again, no problems here. This should still push its way up to, I'd say, 392.50 area. Semiconductors very strong today. There was more chip news from NVIDIA and AMD. I believe they announced some new chips or something like that. NVIDIA should stay elevated until the split. After that, I'm not so sure what it does. It's really high on the hog, as you guys know. I don't need to tell anybody that, obviously. But probably around June OPEX, I think, could be a turning point for chips. But again, we'll see what we get here. SMH holding up okay. SOX holding up okay for now. Cloud got a bounce today, although it finished flat. It was lower earlier. Still watching this trend line. Do we close above that on the end of the week, especially that gap window there? Transports did finish red, but we had a big power move on Thursday, Friday. Pretty much everything. So it was kind of like the opposite today, right? The last two sessions was very positive breadth, and big tech and semis were weak, whereas everything else was strong. Today, those other laggard sectors took a breather, and tech kind of took back over. But transports did back off of the 20 DMA. This can firm up, though, and then push higher. But right now, it did come back in, and we'll make note of that. We already talked about bonds. I would favor lower highs and possibly a breakdown in that. And again, you might be like, well, Aaron, how can you be bearish on yields? I thought you were bullish on yields. I am secularly, but cyclically, you can't be an ignorant, you can't be wearing blinders, right? Things can have cyclical rallies, right? Even in secular bear markets. Case in point, we want to talk about yields. Look at the cyclical rallies here, right? Big cyclical rallies. So, you know, if something breaks on the chart, I'm not going to sit here and deny it and, you know, grasp for straws. Saw a lot of that over the weekend too. But anyway, not to get sidetracked here. XHB, again, red, again, those laggard sectors lagging today. I'm going to watch this for kind of a tightening range as well. So a little bit of a wedge pattern possibly building up on the XHB, and we'll see what that gives us going into tomorrow. VNQ also down 19 cents, but nothing terrible, right? That's actually not a bad candle there for VNQ. Kind of closing back towards the flat line by the end of the day. Not a terrible recovery. So VNQ bouncing, XLF bouncing off the lows. Really tested the lows of yesterday. Closed down 26 cents. KRE with a pretty good engulfing candle here. So down 85 cents. Definitely a pretty good reversal there for the KRE. And it didn't really come much off the lows. So regional banks, again, still on the softer side. Really unable to get a lot going here. And not in love with the weekly. It's definitely more neutral. The KBE, on the other hand, is still a lot better. Still has the engulfing candle on the daily, so to be fair. But again, down just 54 cents, and the weekly is still very good on that KBE there. Broker dealers here finishing fractionally positive. Again, above the moving averages, is just overbought on the monthly. So oil was down big today. I did not take a stab at this. I told you 74 would be support. I think it could get a bounce there, but the problem is, look at this. Like, look at how many weeks you've bear flagged inside bar there. 4 weeks. So that's a whole month. It's going to make it harder for this support to hold because we just built compression for the last 4 weeks. Now we're releasing energy. So it could hold. Maybe it holds for a day or two. Maybe it holds forever. I don't know. But probabilities at this point are lower that it's going to hold as opposed to if we had just gone straight from here right down into it. So I would be careful with oil. I'll be looking for signs of a reversal, but I'm not going to step in front of it if there's not a good reason. Past that, you're probably looking at the low 70s, 72 or so. And XLE did back off today, as you'd imagine. So good outside move. Maybe that can get down to the 200 moving average after all, or possibly that 87 handle like I talked about. XOP. And every time these things try to rally, they just get shut down. There's the OIH too. Big outside candle on OIH. So that's probably going to have to go down and retest 290. Maybe 295. CCJ, good outside move here. No problems on the weekly. URNM, a little bit softer on the daily. So down inside. Could be setting up another leg down here. But again, like I've been saying, the weekly is still fine. These are still in very strong uptrends. The daily can get messy. As long as the weekly is holding up, it's fine. Nat Gas here. Nat Gas had an impressive day. We actually took another gain on this one today. So just holding a trailer position in the trading room right now. And but I like what it did. So it rallied up this morning, and then it came all the way back down, tested the gap, and then it rallied back by the end of the day. So it looked like shorts were just going to come in, have control over this. At one point, this was kind of an ugly daily candle because you had this big fat tail, and you're trading right where we opened the futures. But it came all the way back. So I mean, if you can get above this kind of breakdown, so we had a little down move bear flag on the 4-hour. If we get back above that, $2.90 and $3 is on the table. I think that's probably about it. That's probably about all it's going to do for the summertime, unless something changes. But good day, and I like that it came back after getting hit earlier. As that tells me the shorts are on their heels now. So Nat Gas, I'd give that the upside bias. I wouldn't chase it here, but I'm holding a runner. Dollar index also possibly front running a weak jobs number. Take a look at so this was ISM, but it was down earlier. And it followed through to the downside after ISM. So even though we closed above 105.06, couldn't follow through on it. So weakness there in the dollar. Someone in the trading room pointed out there is a head and shoulders here. It's valid. One thing I'll say though, the weekly is not confirming. You guys still have a bullish inside bar on the weekly. So unless that gets negated with a weekly close below 103.88, I'm going to defer to the weekly. That doesn't mean that it can't break down. It just means that we have to recognize that the more dominant time frame is still printing a bullish pattern until proven otherwise. Gold here managed to come back, finished up 1%. Still got a bear flag there on the daily, but the trend is up, so just be aware of that. I still think it needs to do backing and filling, so I would err on the side of a little bit more downside here in the near term. Doesn't mean a lot, but again, I still think it just needs to do more coiling. But jobs data could be a catalyst. Silver up 1%, holding the moving averages, no problems with this. And GDX here, just to go over that, up 21 cents. SIL down 57. So the miners lagging just a little bit here, but not terrible. Not terrible. Platinum backed off today. Testing 1020 again. That can probably, I would prefer to see that hold around 1,000, I would say. And palladium here getting a small bounce. Copper here also bouncing up again. We talked about the 460 handle. I'm not going to buy it going in front of a weekend, so I didn't do anything with it. It could still get a bid here. At this point, I'm kind of favoring lower highs, but we'll see what we get. I still think, again, it's just weekly charge is way too extended. Still, from the 20 moving average. All right, Bitcoin here, holding up fine. No problems, right? So we backed off early on, and then we just kind of chopped around, and we recovered by the end of the day. It looks good. You got an inside bar here, and it's ready. It can go at any time. ETH, 20 MA is catching up. So I think Bitcoin's getting ready to go, and you guys know my target is still 74.5 to 75. So Bitcoin hanging in there. And overall, market's holding up just fine. Let's just take the futures here. Yeah, so futures inching up a little bit here. So we're right into that, top trend line there. And, if we can break above that, I think we push higher. Again, I'm still going to revert back to 53.25 SPX as being the big breakout level. We may need to ping pong a little bit more. Heck, we could even ping pong into non-farm payroll. That's certainly possible, and which is going to be this Friday. But overall, trend is up, and we had a power candle, a power reversal on Friday. And I don't think that's anything that anybody should be trying to fight here. So anyways, guys, going to wrap it up here. You guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on CarnivoreTrades.com. We'll see you guys all tomorrow.